Hi, I'm Rich Heffron. This is this week's Delaware State Chamber of Commerce Legislative Report. Many of you probably already have read, but if you have not, we've linked an article both to this video and our website about the 23 states that have sued the state of Delaware over cheating MoneyGrams. Essentially, when MoneyGrams are not used or abandoned, the state of Delaware, because MoneyGram is incorporated here, it cheats the money and it goes to the state of Delaware. Two states had sued earlier and will be joining this suit, Pennsylvania and Wisconsin, which make the total 25. Half the states in the union are suing Delaware, claiming that the money should go to the origin of the MoneyGram, the state in which the MoneyGram was sent, and where the resident or the person had sent the MoneyGram. The cost if we lose this suit would be about $300 million, off the top. It would go back to 2000. And the total amount per year would be somewhere around $28 million a year we wouldn't receive. Not large in the whole scheme of things, probably about 5% of what we get in a street, but it's one brick out of that wall. We may have talked about this earlier. There are two other suits sitting out there that question whether the state of Delaware should be able to cheat money just because a company is incorporated here, that it should go to the state exactly where the money originated. Which, if that happened, we'd see we would see a cheat plunge. So we'll be keeping an eye on these, and we'll keep you updated. But there are some danger signs out there. As far as the legislature, they submitted the budget. Like we said earlier, we have about $72 million less in revenue than had been planned on when the governor submitted his budget. What does that mean? It means that some things are not going to get funded that may have. There were a couple questions we had, which we mentioned last week. This week, Dimer and Diner, which are the programs which would pay back some of the loans that doctors or dentists would have if they would agree to practice in certain areas of the state, were cut out of the budget. We're very worried about that. That's an important program, especially now with the Affordable Care Act and the fact that most states, including Delaware, general practitioners are in short supply, especially in areas like rural Sussex and Kent County and in downtown Wilmington. The insurance commissioner has come up with $1 million that the insurance department is willing to donate to the program. The discussions are in the Joint Finance Committee to add about $800,000 of that, so $1.8 million, which would put the program back on firm footing, and we support that. As far as legislation, 283, which is the PLA bill, PLA/Veterans bill. Project labor agreements, which we oppose. There is some discussion of dropping the project labor agreements and using some type of requirement for apprentice programs for state projects. We'll see where those negotiations go. There's some questions about that also. That bill's still up in the air. The WEAC bill, which is the resolution, which deals with the Wilmington School District, is also out of committee, but there's some questions whether they have the votes to pass it. There is $6 million in the budget for the program. If they don't pass the resolution, the question is what happens to that $6 million. House Bill 308, which we talked about, which is now in the Senate, dealing with workers' comp and automobile accidents that happen while people are in work and who would pick up the costs. We think it should be exclusively workers' comp, but there are some questions where the long and short-term disability should be included, which would be put in the, is part of the bill and would be put into the statute itself. We oppose it. The insurance companies oppose it. We think an accident should be exclusively workers' comp. That bill is up for consideration. We'll see some other things this next couple of weeks. House Bill 418, which we support, is a small increase in the tax that employers pay for training, for state training. Last year we saw a huge drop in the amount of revenue. It'd be less than about 0.2% increase, but we think it's important for employers that the state continue these training programs, and so I think this would be a worthwhile investment, and we'll be supporting that bill. Lastly, a lot of people forget about this. Tomorrow's Flag Day, June 14th. If you have a flag, show it. It is an important holiday that we celebrate. That we are Americans, citizens of the United States, especially after the incident this weekend down in Orlando. That's it for this week. Thank you for watching.